Hi everyone, I'm very glad to be here to present our collaborative work, CIDO, the community-based coronavirus infectious disease ontology. I'm Oliver He from the University of Michigan Medical School. So first of all, I would like to acknowledge our collaborators and co-authors of this study. Our list of collaborators, including many from the University of Michigan and also many from around the world, like clinicians, researchers, doctors. Also, they are in different majors like philosophers and computer scientists and medical researchers. And today we will focus on the COVID-19 here. And the COVID-19, as we know, currently is under the pandemic, and it's a big issue since the last December, which first occurred in Wuhan, China, a city in mid-China, big city like Chicago in USA, and now to the whole world, and now to a very big scale and very bad situation for now. And currently we have over 40 million cases with more than 1 million deaths. That's a very big issue. If we look back to the past 2 decades, we can find there are also SARS and MERS. So SARS is the severe acute respiratory syndrome, and the COVID-19 is basically SARS-CoV-2. So at that time we have still very bad situation that time, but overall comparing with SARS-2 is relatively mild, and the MERS as well. So both of them have very big and bigger case fatality rate. However, the transmission rate is was relatively small compared to COVID-19. So we like to put all together. We like to compare to study them because they are all coronaviruses. And we like to look for the shared common features and look for the different features as well, and how and why, right? And then we want to find a way, find the mechanism, and find a rational ways against the current COVID-19 and possibly future viral infection as well. So how can we do it? It's a lot of data, and we have all kind of observations, but then how to put all that together, that's important here. As we all know today, a well-designed ontological representation is a crucial component to support the COVID-19 and all coronavirus disease investigation. So we will focus on CIDO here. So CIDO means Coronavirus Infectious Disease Ontology. It's really a community effort, and it was initiated this January. Initially, Dr. Yingtong and I discussed. Yingtong was a doctor, a medical doctor, and also a PhD investigator in Guizhou People's Province of Hospital, and also in the Guizhou Medical School. So we discussed that, and then we initiated the work, and then we invited a lot of collaborators working together. And now we have this CIDO is getting bigger and bigger. And so basically CIDO is ontological representation of things about the coronavirus. The things can cover all kinds of things that we feel like relevant and important, including the etiology, like the viruses itself, and the host. The host can be the humans and likely some other animals. And then we can look for the diseases, the phenotypes in the hosts, and then we can look for the reservoirs, transmissions, and host coronavirus interactions. And then we can also look for diagnosis, drugs, vaccines, and then data, metadata, and data standardization. So currently we have over 6,000 classes and also more than 300 object properties and data properties, annotation properties. And overall, we have more than 7,000 terms. And then we import a lot of terms from many, like 48 ontologies, and we also have more than 200 CIDO-specific terms. We put all together in a very nice semantic way, and it has been deposited into different repositories like OntoB, like BioPortal, and also AbleR. And also it has been used in many different cases. It's currently classified as an open ontology as well. So here I'd like to present some architecture of CIDO. So CIDO aligns with the basic formal ontology. So here you can see the structure, like we have the continuant and occurrent. So continuant basically means time-independent entity, and occurrent means time-dependent entity, like a time and the process. So the time-independent entity including independent continuant. Continuant is independent continuant and specifically dependent continuant. And then we have here material entity, which can be the host or virus. And then we have the anatomical entities like lung or spleen or kidney. And then we have device. The device can be medical device like a ventilator. And then we have the process, can be like a planned process, man-made planned process, like diagnosis, right? And then the interaction between the host and the virus. And that's a very important component to understand the mechanism. And then we can also look for the disease process, right? And how the disease comes from. And then above all, we have also some other like disease here and the quality here. They are considered as specifically dependent continuant. Here we basically talk about all these things. And now we want to look for the horizontal connections, right? The other ones is more like a hierarchy. It's a vertical hierarchy structure, and this is a more horizontal one. Then you can look at all the things are connected together in different ways. Like we have a COVID-19 disease process, which can realize some disposition in the disease, and then the disease process occurs in the animal or human, and then can occur in lung or susceptibly in other locations like brain, kidney. And then it is caused by the infection with the COVID, the SARS-CoV-2, which is a virus. And then basically we come to here, then we have cells and then genes, and then different genes may be susceptible to up and down regulation. Then they have a disposition of the susceptibility, and then all those things can be regulated in a way, and then they can regulate the quantity like age, phenotype, and then these things can be important to affect the outcome of the disease. And then we can also have the drug and the vaccines. So all these things can be put together, and each box can be its own hierarchy, or its own ontology, but we put them all together in a logical way. And then here we want to focus on some taxonomy structure. Like here we have the viruses, right? So you can see we have different coronavirus, and then the SARS-2 is under the subacqueous virus, and then MERS is under the molecular virus. And then you can also see some viruses, they are also coronavirus and can cause a human issue, but they usually cause only common cold illness. And then they can all be lined together. We can also have some other examples like controls for other animals. In terms of the host phenotypes, and we look for the HPO to classify many common phenotypes that are often shown in COVID-19. And then here we have a special way to present medical devices. So that is an important thing in terms of COVID-19 treatment. So for example, we may have respiratory issues, and then we may need to have medical ventilations, right? So how to set up the ventilation is important. You have to make sure there is a good tidal value, and then we have to make sure it's used correctly, right? And then the ventilation, is basically a medical device. So this is what FDA actually likes to focus. And then how to use the CIDO, and we can also think of ways to use them. So for example, here we can do the DO query. So you can look for different ways, like antiviral or anti-malaria. We have 7 and 6 drugs. And then if you add one like anti-inflammatory agent, you found one. So you can kind of organize your criteria. You can get different results. And then we also did different ways by working with our collaborators, like Yehoshua has been using their summarization network to help visualize the CIDO and then support the comprehension of the CIDO ontology. And we have been working with Liwei, Wang, and Hongfang Liu from Mayo Clinic to improve the CIDO development and then further use it for their COVID-19 clinical data natural language processing, is NLP. And we have been also working with Fatima and Robert to develop CIDO-based machine learning methods to support drug and drug repurposing analysis. And some of the work will be presented next time. And then in conclusion, we have been developing the CIDO, which integrates different terms covering different aspects. It can also support different computational analysis, and we show the example with the drug repurposing application. And then we also want to present more important, a lot of important mechanism, and then we hope by understanding the mechanism better, which can help us to support the data analysis and the drug and the vaccine development. And we look for collaborations. Thank you.